All right, I'm Tandy. Welcome to another Pioneer video, and today we're going to be playing Sultai NeoFlayer. This deck is centered around the card Neoform. For 2 mana, you can sack a creature. If you do, search your library for a creature card with mana value equal to 1 plus the mana value of the card sacrificed. What we're going to be doing with this is going to be cheating on the uh, casting cost of the creatures by playing Delve creatures. Our Delve creatures are going to be Tasker the Golden Fang, Hooting Mandrills, and Soulflayer. So Soulflayer is the big one, right? This is the newer addition to the deck. This is kind of what's making the deck unique compared to the other builds. We're going to be using Soulflayer along with Striped Riverwinder to give it hexproof, Zatalpa Primal Dawn to give it flying, double strike, vigilance, trample, indestructible. And we're also going to be using Atraxa to give it lifelink. Death touch is whatever, vigilance is whatever. The big deal is we're using Neoform as a way to tutor for Atraxa, and we're essentially just going to be trying to cast a Tassiger or Hooting Mandrills or Soulflayer and then sacrifice it. But there's like a lot of games where you just draw one or two of these creatures and don't draw Neoform. And if Soulflayer is one of those creatures, we can actually have like a pretty large minion that has a bunch of abilities that's really hard to deal with. So Soulflayer kind of doubles as its own game plan alongside the Neoform strategy. But don't be afraid to sack the Soulflayer to go get an Atraxa. I think that's going to be common. The rest of the deck, we're kind of split between being graveyard enabling and also with trying to interact with our opponent some. We're using both Thoughtseize to discard as well as Collective Brutality to hit their hand creatures and allow us to pitch things from hand. Collective Brutality is our best discard outlet for stuff like Zatalpa if we draw it, but we can also discard an Atraxa, and that'll fuel Soulflayer. We can also discard up to 2 cards from hand with Escalate, so that can help fuel Delve. We are using Grizzly Salvage and Commune with the Gods to churn through our deck looking for those creatures. And then Commune can also find Founding the Third Path. Founding the Third Path acts as our additional way to mill ourselves, but also it gives us a way to replay Neoform if our opponent makes us discard it or if we mill over it. Otherworldly Gaze is our 1-drop of choice for filling the graveyard. We're going to be playing it to surveil a bunch. It gives us something to do on turns 1 and 2 if it's in our opener, so pretty happy with it in testing so far. The mana base is pretty heavy towards black because Soulflayer is BB, but we need a reasonable amount of green for the card Neoform and our green spells. So we're playing 7 green fast lanes and 4 mana confluence. It's only 11, but Founding the Third Path helps us cast Grizzly Salvage and Neoform at times. So if you have a turn where you can use Founding to cast Neoform, but you don't have the green mana, maybe look to set that up. The sideboard, we have 2 Path of Peril. This is mostly just a way to sweep small creatures off the battlefield. This deck folds the creature rushes pretty hardcore. Path of Peril is a 3 mana Wrath, but if you do have 4 mana confluence, so there is a chance that you can cleave it later in the game. 1 Beseiju as a disenchant effect that we can find off of the Atraxa. 2 copies of Pithing Needle, which are mostly for Liliana the Veil, but are also great against Karn the Great Crater or other Planeswalkers. Assassin's Trophy, which combines with Beseiju to be a generically broad answer to hate cards our opponents can play against us, like Grafdigger's Cage. Hornet Queen as an alternate to tutor for with Neoform for when our opponent has edict effects like Liliana the Veil or is going wide with creatures. A single Duress to complement the Thoughtseizes. 3 Ray of Enfeeblement as extra removal for Greasefang and other white creature decks. And then lastly, 3 Stubborn Denial, which can come in against a wide variety of opponents. There's going to be games where we board out the Zatalpas, and there's going to be games where we board out the Neoforms. This is a weird deck. It's essentially 2 combos stuffed together. And if our Soulflayer package with fully juiced Soulflayer is not good, we'll cut it. And if our Neoform is bad against things like Blue-White Control, we'll maybe cut it. We'll see. This is Soulflayer. That's what we've dubbed it. Let's play League. No companion to speak of. 3 Botanical Sanctums in our opener. This might be a keep. We have the Thoughtseize. We have a Collective Brutality. We can maybe kill a creature and discard the Atraxa for Soulflayer for later. The one thing I'm kind of scared about is the fact that we only have 1 black source, so Soulflayer is not currently castable. But with these two pieces of interaction, being on the play and having all three colors, I'm going to keep. But I don't think that this is on the higher spectrum of good hands, but there's a lot of cards that make it good. One Grizzly Salvage will make it good. Okay, so we're going to get a full Collective Brutality next turn if we take the Kumano. The rest is whatever. I'll go maybe all three modes and discard an extra Botanical Sanctum to get an extra card in my graveyard. Kumano makes it so I can't Brutality, and they would definitely Kumano first, so now we'll just let them play a 1-drop. It'll probably Swift Spear if I had to guess. Yeah, Auras is really tough panic, for sure. Alright, so let's cast with all three modes. Should we do all three modes, or should we just do 2 modes? I feel like the 2 life is going to be free. I don't think that the Botanical Sanctum is going to do much, but maybe it will. Let's do -2 and discard. I think the drain is a little mid, because the land might be useful later. Alright, so they have Sokenzan, Lava Runner, Bone Man. We'll upkeep Otherworldly Gaze. And I'm not sure really what I'm looking for, because we kind of need 2 cards. So maybe we draw first before we gaze. But maybe we upkeep so we can look for 2 cards. I'm gonna upkeep. Let's see. Graveyard. Graveyard. We'll go top, and then we'll just use it to kill the Lava Runner to save life. And then we'll, I guess, upkeep Otherworldly Gaze from the graveyard. Alright, so they got a big boy. Alright, so we'll go graveyard, graveyard, top, and we'll draw it. We'll play Botanical Sanctum. Oh, I needed to keep the Mana Confluence. I thought I had second black off of this for next turn. So that was a mistake. I should have kept Mana Confluence as well. But now we can upkeep a gaze again, looking for an untapped black. But I have made a pretty big mistake there. Alright, it's all Darkslick Shores. 1 graveyard, 1 top, 1 top. Alright. So this is the triple Botanical Sanctum coming to bite me, but also if I had just kept the Mana Confluence, I'd be fine. We're going to take a pretty big chunk of damage here. 8 down to 5, and then we're going to play Soul Flare with Lifelink and all sorts of abilities, and we could die, right? We could definitely die now. But that would not have been the case if I had just sequenced better. So that's just my own fault. Well, Jay, this is just a new build we're trying, my man. I read about this deck on my Patreon this week. We'll see how good the Death Touch Flying Lifelink Vigilance is against just Bone Crusher Giant. We have to just trade with Bone Crusher Giant if they attack too, which stinks. Yeah, it's a cool deck. Bad. I enjoyed putting it together. Alright, so here comes Den. We'll block the Den, and we'll take 6 down to 3. If they go land plus shock the Soul Flare, that stinks, but it is what it is. Maybe we're dead, maybe we're not. This does have Vigilance, though, so we'll be able to attack too. Alright, so tapped Den. So now we have Vigilance, and we have another blocker, so we should be fine. Alright, we'll go for Gaze in case we draw something cool for the Soul Flare. We'll go graveyard, graveyard, graveyard. Let's gaze again because we can still play the Soul Flare. So yeah, we'll give it hexproof, and then we'll just put Tasker on top for next turn as another blocker should we need it. So this one has hexproof. This one has vigilance and lifelink and flying. So we'll just churn it. We'll block smaller things with this, and this can trade with Bone Man, and then we can play Tasker next turn. I appreciate you, Bad. I appreciate you, Jay. The Neoform stuff was something that came to me on a long car ride, and I was actually planning on doing it in Modern, but I noticed that it was able to be done in Pioneer with relative ease. The goal essentially was to create a deck that could interact a bunch while also putting up the Neoform combo. And I was actually really surprised how well it worked in our first league with it. We went 4-1. And then my YouTube editor, we made some changes. I had some like 2-mana removal, and one of his friends suggested playing Founding the Third Path. And when he put it into the deck, he 5-0'd like 4 of his 5 leagues that he played or something, and then he made the finals of the challenge or the mock showcase. Not last weekend, but the one before that. So overall, he's been doing really good with the deck. All right, we can even activate the Tasker as well, so that's what we're going to do. We're going to delve all 5. Now that we're at 9, we are relatively safe. We have many blockers for their creatures. They can't really do anything about the Soul Flare unless they find something that deals at 4 damage. What do you think of the new Esper Legends deck running around? I'll probably play it on stream this week to give it a try. Ryumi. I saw it on Twitter. The guy tagged me. There's a Kamano. That's fine. Yield until next end step. All right, give me a card. Any card. Atraxa? Yes. Perfect. Exactly what I wanted. All right, we'll attack with just this Soul Flare with Flying, Vigilance, Lifelink. Very little reason to attack with anything else. Let's play Blooming March and say go. If we draw a Mana Confluence, we can just hardcast Atraxa. What do you think of Deathrite Shaman the Tavar list? That might be another cool 1-drop to play if we don't end up doing the if we don't end up doing Lovestruck Beast. I think having any other 1-drop is fine. The problem is it's hard to get lands in the graveyard, and that's the place where Deathrite Shaman shines. So maybe there's a Tyvar list that plays like Satyr Wayfinder. That could be pretty good. That would be something I'd be interested in checking out. All right, so there's still no good attacks for him. The Tassiger pickup was actually super nice for a couple reasons. All right, so now they give me a backup Tasker or Founding. They'll probably give me the backup Tassiger, if I had to guess. They gave me the Founding. Weird. So we'll do a post-combat. We'll attack with... We can attack and force some blocks, but I think I just like attacking with this and then going to get Atraxa. We have 1 Atraxa left in the deck still, I think. I'm going to just double check. Yep. Ooh, could have got Striped Riverwinder. Should we have needed it though? All right, so instant sorcery is Collective Brutality, Enchantment's Founding. This is the only creature. We'll take it for collective brutality. And then we can take salvage or gaze. I'll take gaze, I guess. Okay. Alright. Mono red aggro. Didn't have the best draw, but still. A couple Path of Peril should be pretty good. I don't love Assassin's Trophy or Duress. I don't love Stubbs. The Soul Flayers were okay, but that's not really our best plan of action. And if we can't give it hexproof, they're likely to bring in like Roast or something. I kind of want to cut this Tulpas and the Stripes. So if we cut these 5, we get to bring in these 5. I know that the lifelink on it's good, right? But the indestructible stuff, the hexproof stuff, just a little bit harder to get going. And I think that this is going to happen a lot. I think where we, against aggro, we just side this part out of the deck. We got stuff. We'll keep for sure. If this matchup is all over the place, Collective Brutality is going to gain a lot of stock. The card's very good. Wish you had Yoshimar, Legal, and Pioneer. I don't know what Yoshimar is. I'm so sorry. Alright, so let's take the play with fire, and then we can kill a creature and make them discard the Skewer. It's because they'll just play both creatures, more than likely. We'll take 2. We'll discard a land. We'll take the Skewer and kill a creature. Maybe I should have took one of the creatures, though, but then the Swift Spear doesn't... Then the Collective Brutality doesn't kill anything. I see. Alright, so let's go cast, deal -2, and discard. Target opponent, this thing. Discard a Water Grave. Take the Skewer. Now we'll take 4. Next turn we can play the Soul Flare. I kind of want to upkeep Otherworldly Gaze. Okay, so they drew of Den, so we know they have just Mountain in hand. Alright, let's gaze first. In case we hit something good for Soul Flare, we should have done an upkeep, like I said. Bend the Thoughtseize, bend the Commune, bend the Watery Grave. Yo, what's up, P Mello? How's it going, baby? Sorry, Gristle Bear. Didn't mean to, my buddy. Look, you can always mute notifications from a post or whatever. Alright, so they're attacking with both. If they have Lightning Strike, 3, 6, 8, I go to 1. So this has to be a burn spell, right? But if I go to 1, I'm dead to a burn spell next turn. I guess I just take it. I'm just gonna take it. You're Brent, right? Gristle Bear, just double checking. Oh, that's a good draw for later. Alright, we'll just Atraxa, I guess. I don't think people are playing Skullcrack, really, so... I should have left open blue-black. So we want Tassiker as the creature. Sorcery, Neoform, Instant, Grizzly Salvage, Land, Darkslick Shores. We haven't played a land yet. I guess we can play... That's Darkslick Shores, because we can just play for 1. Alright, also we don't get burned out from 5. We will definitely block with Atraxa. And we have the ability to Atraxa again next turn. We still have one left in the deck. If we can beat Mono Red, I think that's a great sign for the deck. Obviously, I don't think our opponent's draws were that great, but I thought that the Collective Brutality was exceptional. But that is the matchup where it's going to be the best, I think. You've been going in on Pioneer? Yeah, it's been fun brewing, man. All right, we'll start off with the Thoughtseize here. Likely Phoenix, but could be anything. Oh, okay. Is it Pyromance? I don't care about Make Disappear that much, but Dig Through Time's pretty scary. Fire Prophecy's nothing. We can just play around Make Disappear, I think, for a while. And they can't combo until they play Fire Prophecy or discard it. I don't give a fuck! Yo, Cam, what's up, buddy? Thanks for the 52 months. I killed 52 men. Monday second on, not in the good fun way, but at least we got Todd. At least I got you, Cam. Appreciate you, baby. All right, we'll go for a Gaze end of turn. Well, I think there's a lot of really great choices in Pioneer right now, Pomelo. I think it's just whatever deck gives you the most joy to play with, my man. I would recommend testing a bunch. If you're not in the Patreon, I recommend jumping in the Patreon. We got a lot of sideboard guides and stuff to help you out, and you got my ear when you're in there, so. All right, so let's go Graveyard, Graveyard. We'll go top for one of the two Thoughtseizes. And now we can go land, Thoughtseize, and then maybe play a Delve creature. Take the Make Disappear. Play the Tasker because it's got 5 toughness. Might be a little hard to kill. We'll leave the Striped Riverwinder for a Soul Flare for later. So they're going to Fire Prophecy, discard Worldspine Worm, but it's not going to kill it. If they had waited, they could have drawn another removal spell and maybe double teamed it. I think I liked that better than their play. They played a Pathway on blue. That's definitely not right unless they drew another red source. They probably drew land. Yo! Beater Ben! Thanks for the Prime sub. Welcome to Todd Squad. It says GLHF. Thanks, bud. Appreciate the Prime Gamer sub. Enjoy the no ads. Chat, if you don't want ads, use that Prime sub. Or forever hold your peace. Alright, we're going to go Gaze into Mandrills, I think. Let's see, I think we can... Let's see, that's 3, 4, 5, 6. Is it the same no matter what? Because it's +2 cards. What if I just don't cast the Hoots? I feel like I should cast the Hoots, though. Just casting Gaze? Okay, casting Gaze, I guess, opens me up to stuff. I guess I can just start Taskering next turn. Let's just Mandrills. Because Gaze for 2 is the same as the Delve on Mandrills. Because we -1 to add 3, up to 3. So I think just getting a creature down, putting them on a 2-turn clock makes a lot of sense. You ready to hit for 30? Never. They never have it, chat. Except when they have it. Keep living the dream for the rest of us. I'm doing my best, Cam. Love you, brother. Alright, they found the red. We drew the worst one in the deck. There's only one Thoughtseize left in the deck, but I think it's worth looking for here off of the Tasker since we have essentially nothing else. If we hit... Okay, we hit another Atraxa. Not the best, but they're on this 1-turn clock. If they have exactly big score into... If they have exactly big score into creativity, we lose, but I'm not really sure what I'm supposed to do. We'll sideboard in such a way that I think is good for the matchup, though. A classic creativity death. Big score into creativity. Oh, we're not dead, chat! Praise be! Praise be, we're not dead. See if they have a way to kill any of these dickheads. Well, fantastic. I think both decks are great. I think Greasefang is a bit easier to play and is a bit more forgiving. And also a little less susceptible to hate cards. But I truly love casting big delve creatures and summon denials, so that really gets my goat. There's a Fable. Alright, well, they're not dead. We might be dead next turn. We drew 3 Atraxas as our 3 draws, chat. Not great. See if we hit Collective Brutality. Well, didn't hit anything of note. We're going to attack. I mean, we had really bad draw steps there. I guess we should have, instead of the Hooting Mandrill, maybe we should have gone for the Otherworldly Gaze again. I also maybe should have kept both Thoughtseizes on top that one time, chat. That might have been the mistake as well. I think that's a good idea, Tron Girl. Deck's not cooperating? I mean, I guess. You know, we did the thing. We went Thoughtseize, Delve Creature. Like, it's a pretty good game plan against combo most of the time, but you just got to draw spells that aren't Atraxa. Alright, so they discard 2. See if they hit. They tap blue to start. This might be Impulse. We might still have a shot. Alright. Now they need land plus creativity. Also, welcome to the channel, TTV Fantastic and Beater Band. It's glad to have both of you. First time chatters, appreciate y'all. I honestly can't believe I won that game. Their deck just didn't do much. Alright, so Stubs come in, Duresses. We don't really want Trophy, but Trophy does technically stop the combo for half a turn. And the creatures are only 5/5s that the worm kills, that the worm leaves behind. And so if we have a Atraxa in play, it could actually be okay. Needle doesn't do much. Boseiju doesn't do much. Alright, so if those 4 coming in, Brutality has very few targets for the minus, and the Drain is not relevant. And I don't really love the idea of a 2-mana discard spell. But the Soul Flare shit's also bad. Like, Zetalpa could just come out, I think. If we just got 3 Zetalpas and a Collective Brutality, I think that's fine. We just don't need to give Soul Flare abilities. Alright, we'll definitely keep this one. First time drawing Grizzly Salvage in this build. Hopefully it's good in this matchup. We haven't really needed it, though. The Otherworldly Gazes have looked great. I'm just going to take both their Fables, I guess. Slow them down. Well, grabbing a Leyline of the Wood off of Atraxa is not really the place you want to be, my man. Wow. Okay, so we're in trouble, I think. I think I just have to take Fable. And then we'll Otherworldly Gaze. Wow. That's a tough draw. Big score there. So Impulse, so they have Spire Bluff, Mutavault, Valakut, big score. No. These. A Soulflare felt good in the deck? I mean, we did win game 1 because we gave it lifelink against Mono Red, so I think that's a glowing recommendation from me at this point. Another Thoughtseize. We have the Tassiger. I don't think we need it, though, because we have a Salvage to do a similar thing later, and we're not really ready to do it just yet. Alright. They drew another big score. So let's take maybe Valakut Awakening, and then let them Spell Pierce my Salvage. I'm gonna upkeep the salvage, so if they pierce, they can't big score if they draw the land. But this is a pretty juicy spell pierce for them, so I think they'll probably bite, and then maybe just hit me for 2. And then on my turn, I'll just go Founding. Maybe I should have just went Founding and had to get pierced. But then this is a bit worse, I think. Okay, let it go. So we'll take Soul Flare. Ooh, they drew Disdainful Stroke. Attack for 2. Okay. I think I'm going to go Founding plus Brutality if we draw the lands. I'll do Chapter 1. Make them discard. We'll play Otherworldly Gaze from the graveyard as well. I kind of want to take the Pierce and just hope they don't draw the land. That way we can maybe set up a Neoform in 2 turns. Maybe we can do that anyway without worrying about the Spell Pierce. So I'm going to take Creativity. We're like close to dying to Mutavault, but I don't think that's going to happen. Them drawing the Stroke for the Soul Flare is a little bit rough, to be honest. Alright, so we'll go to 5. We'll mill ourselves for 4. And then I guess we'll go to 3 on the turn after, and we'll just salvage and look for something. Okay. Alright, so now we just have Neoform rolled up for the turn after. Let's see, stub. Thoughtseize. Alright, now we got a blocker. And we should just be able to Neoform next turn pretty easily. Awesome. We'll keep. We can go turn 2 Founding plus Brutality and discard 1. Yorion? Uh-oh. Could be a matchup where Collective Brutality has no targets. I kept without seeing that. That could be a mistake. But we're on the play, so I'm going to keep. Incoming Fires? Yeah, we'll probably just use it as a discard. But I'll do Discard Drain probably, so we can Zapalta. Plus, they might be the Bring to Light deck or something. I don't know. Probably not, though. Alright, let's just Founding into Salvage instead. This is also another part of the deck that I really like, Founding into Salvage on 2. We'll take Striped as a way to cycle. We don't need the land, really. A couple Otherworldly Gazes found as well. Nice. The Gazes have been great. The Gazes have felt really good. I think even if we go back to the other version, I'll probably play Gaze over Consider. But I think I'd like to play it in addition to Consider. The Considers felt pretty good in the deck, but I think Otherworldly Gaze has just been another level. Alright, so we'll mill ourselves for 4. We'll go Cast for Escalate, -2 and discard. Just so we can see what's up over there. And then we'll discard Zapalpa. Couple Bring to Light, so I was right. Then we'll go for a Tassiger. So they can binding my thing, that's fine, right? We'll just go for founding salvage. Looking for like Neoform so we can Zatalpa. Something like that. They don't have black mana yet. We got plenty of time to hit the Bring to Light. Let's exile. We can go Brutality here, actually. I need to set a stop during my draw step. That way, if I draw something I want to play, I can Cycle Strike Riverwinder here. I could have also have Otherworldly Gaze on upkeep. Commune doesn't find Lanzo Viper. That's a big deal. Finding lands when you have 2 lands is very important. We have the 2 Gazes. And the Bring to Light is pretty far away. I think I'm going to go for the Salvage. Alright, let's take the NeoFlayer. Let's see, we can make it indestructible. Does that matter? We can't make it hexproof this turn, even though we have the Riverwinder to cycle. We can just play Tassiger instead. It's bigger body. Let's do NeoFlayer. I'm not going to wait to give it hexproof, though. We're just going to go ahead and play it. Yeah, we have 1 Commune, but I think Grizzly Salvage is better. Another binding. Bummer. Okay, so we'll upkeep Gaze. We're pretty close to casting Riverwinder, but that's not that big of a deal. Another Deathrite Shaman. This is like really annoying, honestly. I just don't understand. I need a, I guess, graveyard, graveyard, graveyard. Graveyard, graveyard, top, and now any creature is neoforming. We'll say go. If they draw a land, they can Bring to Light. Because they have the DR. God damn it, dude. That's so frustrating. Binding into Deathrite. I mean, another land would have been the same, I guess, but it's just frustrating. We're just going to lose to fucking Deathrite Shaman in the year 2023. They eat my Zatalpa. Okay, so they don't know how the deck works. They don't know what we're playing. They think that the NeoFlayer shit matters. Alright, they don't know about the Atraxas, I guess. If they just played Brindleye, we were dead. Alright, so we'll upkeep Gaze. We can even maybe double Gaze, but I think it's just 1. Alright, so graveyard, graveyard, top. So black, black. I should have eaten all my lands. I meant to, and I just clicked too fast. Now they can Bring to Light, unless we draw land Thoughtseize. We haven't played a land yet. And we might be able to recombo next turn. So we'll take NeoFlayer, Neoform. No, we need to take the Thoughtseize. NeoFlayer, Thoughtseize, Grizzly Salvage, Mana Confluence. Now we take the Bring to Light. We'll let them draw a card off the Glissa. I don't really want to trade. Maybe I should trade. We had to take the Thoughtseize instead of the Neoform, so we can't quite recombo, but... Oh, right, can't trade. That's first strike. So we just gotta let it go. Good call, good call. Alright, so they just get a free card every turn. It's pretty busted. Next turn we'll make a 4/4 hexproof unless they eat it. So they can put urine in hand, eat something in the graveyard. Yeah, we can gaze and or salvage first, definitely. Let's see, how many Zatalpas are gone? 2 Zatalpas are gone? Are you kidding? Did they really draw a third Bring to Light, man? Wow. Okay, just Niv Mizzet Reborn. Okay, so this is the Niv version with for no reason basically, and they hit Thought Erasure. Chat, they hit Thought Erasure. They hit Thought Erasure, chat. We'll attack for 8. Let's salvage. I'm gonna take Hoots. Maybe I should take Riverwinder actually, since it cycles. Hoots is another Neoform target though, in case one of them dies. I don't really want to burn. I kind of want him to Thought Erasure me, so I'm just gonna play Soulflare. Let's see, it's just a 4/4 hexproof though, which looks embarrassing against this. I guess I'll just Otherworldly Gaze. That way I can maybe get Soulflare to be Zatalpa as well. The Soulflare can just be better later, so I'll just wait. It's pretty close to being good. This makes it really awkward. Another binding. Well, if we lose, it's 100% because of just incredible top decks. Nothing we can really do. We have to take 9, and then we Otherworldly Gaze looking for Neoform. Might have to chump the Glissa. Nah, we'll just take it. Oh, we can't take it. Man, I messed up. I should have blocked. Whatever. I think this matchup should be extremely easy after sideboard. It was only 2 Bring to Light, to be fair. One was a Niv. If they go for main phase, eat Otherworldly Gaze, we'll just cast it in response. They'll probably just buy Yorion, though. We're dead no matter what we do, I think, though. Let's go graveyard, 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 and see if they let us go to draw. Nice. 1. Oh, we're just dead, right? Because they just death right. Doesn't matter. We can't give it haste, so Stubbs in, Assassin's Trophy in, Beseiju in, Duress in. This should sucks. Doesn't matter because they probably have a way to exile anyway. Like we have to have hexproof and indestructible. It just doesn't matter. I'd rather just counter their shit or ignore it. All right, we'll be on the play for game number 2. They kept the Yorion. Big shock. Big shock. We'll keep. On 2, we have Brutality or Salvage while just kind of holding Stub at the ready. Obviously, if they play Deathrise Shaman, there's a good chance we'll just go ahead and kill it on turn 2 with the Brutality. And we can maybe just discard a land or something. I don't want to discard land too quickly, but we can discard Mana Confluence maybe, or even play Mana Confluence and discard Sanctum to go kill Deathrite, make you discard, and then that can help us with salvage later. We can find land since we already have the Soul Flare. I do think Commune with the Gods is pretty good in the deck. I kind of want a second. We'll just let it resolve. No matter what they take, it's gonna be worse than us casting the salvage first, I think. We can still salvage if they take one of the two salvages. If they take Stubborn Denial, we could have stubbed it, but then we can't salvage, so it's like the same as hitting with a stub, except they lose a Surveil. But we lose 2 mana. It took Soul Flare. That's fine because we just have tons of salvages and stuff, so. I think they are unaware of exactly how my deck works, or at the very least, they're just prioritizing the wrong stuff. Alright, we did find the land. There'll be another Darkslick Shores. I don't think we need... I guess we could take a Blooming Marsh. That gives us the same amount of all of our colors. And now we can go... Salvage plus Stub next turn. Alright, now we're just going to play Soul Flare with Stub backup. And they know about the stub, so we just essentially have a hard counter here for whatever they play. If it's instant or sorcery. Stomping Ground. See what they do. 3 mana. I wonder how many Glisses they have in their deck, man. It's kind of annoying. Can't stop it, can't block it, can't kill it. Not with our build. Alright, black-green, we'll go ahead and salvage. Hit Otherworldly Gaze. Guess we'll... Maybe we just play another Marsh. Just hold up the stub. 2 Foundings gone. No Neoforms in the graveyard anyway, though. It's a heck of a card, man. If you can't kill it, it's extremely board dominating. Because you certainly can't kill it in combat, except with an indestructible creature. Very strong card. Witherbloom command. I'm fine. They could just miss. So they did find a land. I mean, they should have just made it. I mean, it's fine, right? It's a great combination. It's a great blocker and a great attacker. It's legendary. It's a named creature. It's fine. Like it essentially is just Queen of Combat, which is fine, right? That like they're like you can't beat this in combat. Okay, that's fine. Great job, everyone. All right, so let's go Collective Brutality. We'll do -2 and reveal them. Deathrite. And we'll just discard the extra Botanical. And then we can go Gaze, Flashback Gaze, or Stub, Flashback Gaze. Unmoored Ego, or Extinction Events. I guess we'll take Unmoored Ego. So far, though, Collective Brutality has been a lot better than I was expecting it to be. It's one of those cards that's like really good with the Soul Flare package, but it's just a generically solid card, you know. Yeah, what's up, Mike? Here comes Niv. Can't stub a Niv, chat. Alright, so they hit Thought Erasure, Witherbloom, Wandering Mine. Looking for Neoform only. Alright, well, we'll upkeep as well. Well, I tried, chat. Stop. Oh my god, dude. This is how many cards with no Neoform? You know? How many cards with no Neoform? What a banger? Yeah. Dude, I've been getting really into LCD sound system. I know they have Leyline Binding in hand. This is going to make it so I have to chump block, so I have to stub this. And then we take 9. And then I upkeep Gaze, look for your thing, attack. And then the attack with just Glissa, I chump. Has first strike, I have to chump anyway. It's so gross. Why is this card in their deck against me, man? It's actually just embarrassing to lose to this deck. I've just... I feel like I got really unlucky. I'm not gonna lie. Let's see if we hit. Hey, no Neoform. Graveyard, graveyard, graveyard. Ah, Duress. All my openers have looked pretty good. We'll definitely keep this one. A Giganta strategy. Favored Hoplites. We'll just take Swiss Bear, I guess. They can go Homestead Courage twice and attack, and then whatever. We'll just not worry about Brutality until they play another thing. So they drew... So we know that their hand is 3 Battlefield Forge. No, I lied. A card we don't know. Well, now I'm feeling like I'm in trouble. Maybe I should have taken the Homestead Courage, but that just seems so bad. I agree, parallelograms. In fact, I might be playing that after this league, since I'm getting my ass kicked. Otherworldly Gaze? Oh, let's put a bunch of more Otherworldly Gazes into the graveyard. We kind of need the 3rd land. I guess we can play it tapped here while we have it turned off. We'll go -2, reveal, and drain. Yo! Dupree, thanks for the prime sub, my man. Dunzo Washington. All right, creature. Dang. I wonder, you know, I don't know. Maybe I played it badly. Rayan, Assassin's Trophy in, Path of Peril in, Queen in. All this shit can go. Collective Brutality is still fine. Thoughtseize is okay. Let's see. Maybe we can trim an Atraxa. Maybe we can trim a Soulflayer. Counting seems a little slow. Commune seems a little slow. Alright, we'll keep our opener for sure. We'll probably turn one Otherworldly Gaze. We could go turn one Ray, but there's a chance that they play a red creature, and then we'll just Brutality it. They're one drop no matter what anyway. Unless it's old Lagana Band. Alright, Graveyard. 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 Alright, and we'll go ahead and Brutality, discard Atraxa. We'll take Ancestral Anger. So they have a 2-drop that we can kill, and then some pump spells. We'll just kill the 10th district before they untap, and then we hold up Assassin's Trophy or Otherworldly Gaze after. Baby. Should we wait? Gains hexproof and indestructible. Okay, so we should not wait. Alright, so we'll just kill this in response to the Homestead Courage. Upkeep, I'm gonna Otherworldly Gaze, looking for a creature. Okay, so we'll go Graveyard, top. We'll draw Gorgeous of Salvage first. I'm not going to cast it because we want to draw the Neoform as well. Tap wrong, but I didn't hit anyway, so we'll just keep on keeping on, I guess. We also didn't hit another Otherworldly Gaze, so we're kind of just stuck top decking now. A little awkward. We got some time, though, thankfully. Path of Peril. They're probably just going to play Giganta next turn. I'm going to... Actually, if we draw a land, we can kick it. And they have Lorn's Escape to protect the Swiftspear anyway. Alright, let's go Tassiger. That was obviously the nuts. Alright, we'll go get Atraxa. Could get Hornet Queen, but I think Atraxa is better here for a number of reasons. So we'll get Soulflayer as the creature, Neoform as a sorcery, and then I guess Watery Grave. And that's it. And then we'll just play this as a big lifelinker. We can go get Hornet Queen as well if we want. Alright, let's go Thoughtseize you to see what's up, and then we can just Path of Peril and Neoform. So 2 Sujiri Shelter. Protection from the color of your choice. Okay, that doesn't matter. Nice. Let's go. I kind of want the duress now. I feel like they get empty-handed pretty quick though, so maybe the duress is bad. All right, can't keep this one. I don't think. Pretty close though, honestly. I'd say it's fine. We'll just put one back. Probably the mana confluence. Hopefully we can Thoughtseize and take their only creature. All right. Perfect. So we do have a removal spell for their next creature if it taps them out. You like the Soulfire version better than the previous one? We're just testing stuff out. Midosu, I'm not really sure yet, man. But I think it's definitely a bit better against hate cards because you just have an alternate game plan. It doesn't require, sticking the Atraxa like it used to. All right, let's just go ahead and play the Soulflayer. Let's see. I guess we should pay 3 for it. And now we can upkeep. Actually, we can't upkeep because we didn't play Swamp. Never mind. Because we can't gaze plus Neoform next turn. That's fine. Let's see. I guess we'll just go graveyard, graveyard, top on the founding, and then play Tasigur. Next turn we can, if they play a creature, we can go Founding Trophy and then mill the turn after, looking deep for the Neoform. I guess we should have done it in Chapter 2. And that way we could just mill, because since we had the mana to cast it, that was just a mistake. It's fine. I think with the trigger on the stack, I might activate Tasigur since we're not under a lot of pressure here. We're still at 18. Okay, never mind. All right. So next turn, I guess we'll just trophy something. Or not. That sucks. I don't have anything really to target. Found a Neoform, but no creature. Alright. Any double creature and we're in business. A mana confluence, another land, I can cast this. Salvage or something's fine. Their hand's probably just like 4 protection spells or whatever. I don't really want to cast that right now. I don't think it's necessary. I can cast it before I play a double creature in case they drew another Destroy Evil. We'll play our land. I'm going to go ahead and Thoughtseize now, because now if I draw Mana Confluence, I can just cast Atraxa. Lorn's Escape, Reckless Rage. Reckless Rage doesn't do anything. Lorn's Escape and God's Willing are similar, but this protects Hexproof and Indestructible, so we'll take that. Let them keep the rest. We only have 1 green mana. They have Reckless Rage, but they don't have a creature yet. Alright, we'll play the Mandrills, I guess. I could have waited till I had another green, because if they go creature plus Reckless Rage, they can kill it. Were they just waiting? I wonder if they just waited. I wonder if I messed up by playing the Mandrills. Not drawing a green there. I mean, not having a second green is so brutal. I just don't really know if I'm supposed to wait or not. It's just so weird. Maybe I should have took Reckless Rage, though, instead of Lauren's Escape. Because I just forgot about the Mandrills since it's just a one of. This is 14. So let's do -2 discard. Another Virtuoso. Okay, well, we can. Are they have another thing in the graveyard? No. So we're gonna take 14 down to 2, or be dead to a top deck. And then I don't know. This is so embarrassing. I wonder if there was a turn where I could have kept a green source off of something, kept something else. Man, I feel like my draws this league have not been that great. Yeah, a little bit of punt. But mostly just not expecting. I didn't see that I was stuck on green mana, right? It's so rare. All right, we'll go for either Gaze or Striped Riverwinder, depending on what they do. Looking for a land, obviously. I think I'm going to cycle Riverwinder. I kind of just want to hit land drop naturally. Now we can salvage. Let's go Founding Salvage. We can take Mandrills and then go for combo next turn. Can also just play a big Soulflare with Hexproof and all the ability and Lifelink flying. What do you take, bro? They kind of have to take Soulflare, I think. Are we short on green? Oh yeah, you're right. Well, we'll just play Soulflare Mandrills or something then, since we get the mill 4. We can also draw a green source. This is why the Mandrills is awkward in the deck, because we're light on green now. It should probably just be a 4th Thasiger, to be honest. All right, so they're going to crack the blood token. They're just looking hard for another Thoughtseize for the Soulflare, I think. All right, so it should be really hard for them to win. We're going to have Hexproof and a million abilities, but not indestructible yet. If we hit Zatalpa, we can hit. We didn't hit. All right, so let's just go Gaze in case we hit Zapalta. We'll go bottom, bottom, top. Soulflare. I know I'm saying bottom. I know it's going to the graveyard, but... Alright, so Hexproof, Flying, Lifelink, Trample, Vigilance, Death Touch. Tasker and Gurmag, maybe? We can't play Gurmag because it doesn't work with Neoform to get Atraxa. Alright, so we just won't block the Bone Crusher, but we get to Atraxa this turn. So we're just going to... Nothing? We have to exile something, so let's just exile Brutality. No. Alright, so Tasigur. Yo, Demonelius, thanks for the follow. Alright, so Sorcery, Thoughtseize, Creatures of Talpa. We'll take Tassiger instead. Okay. The Soulflare stuff's pretty good in the matchup, so we're going to keep the Zatalpas and Stripes. The Collective Brutalities are pretty weak. I think they're going to get really interactive, so I kind of just want the Stubborn Denials. I don't think they're that good, but they're fine. I think Collective Brutality is pretty bad. I know it makes it so if we draw the Talpas, we can't really get them out of our hand, but whenever the discard ability of Brutality or the -2/-2 abilities are bad, I always look to see if I can cut the Brutalities, but I think I overcut them. Yeah, we could Blue Link. We've had it in one of our lists before already. I do think if we want to play Summoner now, though, you have to play the Hoots as the other one. So now we just want to salvage into a land. Liliana the Veil, obviously annoying if they have it. She is like the best card against her deck. It's a generically powerful, good card. Non-sideboard hate stuff. Yo, what's up, Deco? It's really fun, man. I'm having a blast. Necromentia. Alright, well, we'll get some zombies, I guess. Let's see what they name. They'll probably name Atraxa, honestly. They name Neoform, so we'll get 2 zombies. That's okay. We'll just leverage that with the bodies and maybe kill them with Soul Flares. That's another reason why the Soul Flare stuff's good. It's just, we have options, right? We just have options to do stuff. Alright, so we'll take the Soul Flare. We can't do much with it right now. We'll just play Tasker this turn, probably. Tasker plus Salvage is pretty good. Pretty good turn. We could cycle Riverwinder and play Soul Flare. So it's a 4/4 hexproof, but I kind of want a big boy. Yeah, Sultai Scavenger is the one you're looking for, clans. It's a 1-mana 3/3 flyer with Delve. The 3 toughness doesn't matter that much, but the 4 power, not having 4 power matters a bunch. Alright, green, black, salvage, looking for Zatalpa. Didn't find it. On a Besage, that could be okay. If we can go upkeep Gaze, looking for Zatalpa for the Soul Flare. Alright, so graveyard, top. And now we have Stub. We can kill their Stomp with the Stub, so that we maybe get the 2 for 1 on them. We're gonna smash with these, though. We can also Besage the Hive if they activate next turn. I don't know if they should have blocked until after they knew about Stub. Or they should have stomped first, right? Now we just get to wonk them. They Crooks at me, I'll just discard Riverwinder and then make Soul Flare big. Any Fall Guys on the docket for today's stream post Magic? That's a good idea, Titan. I might. Oh my god, then Crooks at time? Are we gonna lose now? That's so sick. I think I play Besage now. I'll still discard the Riverwinder, I guess. Wow, what a sequence. Not expecting the Thought Season to Crooks. Oh, we got lucky. We got lucky, Chad. I'm not gonna deny it. So Hexproof, Indestructible, Flying. Should I just go ahead and kill the castle? I'm gonna kill castle. So double strike, flying, hexproof, indestructible, trample, vigilance. No lifelink, no death touch. But it's basically unkillable outside of extinction event. Extinction event on even clears the board. Alright. Alright, so let's go over the deck before we move on. I want to talk about some things that worked and some things that didn't. We lost to Domain, and I feel like it was like Niv Mizzet. They had main deck Deathray Shaman, super weird. The Glissas were weird. It's just not something I feel like we need to really tech against or worry about for the future. Overall, what I'm looking for when I'm playing decks like this, especially when they're relatively new, is whether or not they work, whether or not they do the thing that they're supposed to do. And I think that the big thing for this one is I would probably just cut Hooting Mandrills for a 4th Tassiger. I know that's a little awkward sometimes, but having double green to go Hooting Mandrills Neoform in the same turn is very difficult. We only have 11 sources of green. We need the Founding sometimes to do it when we don't have the second green, and I just don't think that it's reliable. So I would probably just cut the Hooting Mandrills for a 4th Tassiger if we're going to keep the Soulflare package. Speaking of the Soulflare package, I mean, we saw it be good against aggro. We saw it close the door on Rakdos. We in general, Soulflare was just pretty good. So I think I'd like to keep the Soulflare package in the deck. Collective Brutality was fine. You know, it allows you to discard the Zatalpas when you draw them. But ideally, we could play something that's a little better than Brutality that lets us discard. But I don't know that that exists. Brutality is this really aggressively interactive spell that hits your opponent on multiple fronts for very little mana, but it's high on resource cost. But our deck is traditionally very good at operating under low resources and turning something in your hand like a Zatalpa or an Atraxa into effectively a discard spell or removal spell for your opponent's creature is something that just doesn't really exist that much in Magic. So I feel like it really earned its spot. The Commune of the Gods we never drew. We sided out a few times. I might just want to cut Commune for a 4th Founding. I did find that Founding was a little bit weaker in this build than in the just normalish version because I didn't feel like I had enough things from the graveyard to just cast with Founding when I didn't find Neoform. I think that the nature of not having Consider and Fatal Push makes Founding a lot worse. So I'll probably trim the Hooting Mandrills for Tasker, the Founding of 3rd Path for maybe a main deck Fatal Push, or maybe just a second Commune with the Gods. Founding into Salvage was great. The sideboard, we used almost every single card except for the Pithy Needles, but I like having them. Mana base was a little worse in this build because we need to lean really heavy on Soulflare, but I think we can just cut Hooting Mandrills and then we're fine with just 11 green sources. Anywho, this is NeoFlayer. This is the new build of Neoform mixed with Soulflare. Make sure to hit the like and subscribe button on your way out, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.